the suit is not cool yet because he ain't go to Wakanda yet. They're not gonna give him the whole thing. Why would they give him the whole suit and he hasn't even visited?
Well, they're not gonna give him the Black Panther suit.
Yeah, watch what happens in the movie.
Not yet.
People come out because look, it's a theme. It's a theme with them about them getting black suits. Like even the Captain America super spy
US agent. Yep.
He's gonna get a black suit.
Well, he already got a black suit. It's black and red like the comics.
Exactly. So guess what's gonna happen? He'll go to Wakanda. He'll get that Wakandian vibranium. Wakandan vibranium. It's gonna be flowing through that suit, and then E-Money, you gonna have what you wanted. But they can't do that in the series. They gotta do that in a movie.
Have to do it in the movie.
Like they didn't even reveal his technology in the series. Like Michael,
they didn't really. It's probably. I'm sure it's more to it. To your point as well, and whatnot. Because remember, Spider-Man's suit that we saw that Tony made, it was all types of crazy once we finally seen him in his own movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, he just put the suit on and then went out there and fought people.
And being around these two amazing prophet, I have thus decided to turn myself into Josh Stradamus. Are you ready? So just like as Mike said, there's going to be a second season to lead into the film, right? Mm-hmm. So the second season is going to have Sam coming to terms with his decision that Chloé brought up. He's going to have some internal conflict. He's going to have to go home to Africa and to Wakanda and learn more about the Shield and kind of have that character arc. To me, this makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. And then those are the type of things that you can have in the actual film. But in the season, it's the same format. It's his day to day.
Okay, I got you. So maybe he'll reach out to Bucky to say, Bucky, I need you to take me somewhere. Because Bucky know how to get, he got the coordinates. Whatnot, so you can get him there.
There was only 6 episodes. Yeah. Y'all tell me they ain't filmed 12? Yeah, right.
No, they only filmed 6 or whatever. It was 6 1-hour episodes.
They only filmed 6.
But I'll tell you what did happen, to go back to the show. I know we kind of went back to Cap already, but with the pandemic, they had to do a lot of different reshoots. So apparently, I don't know if you saw what is a new rock star, the Charlie, whatever, but there was supposed to be a story about a virus and whatnot.
Oh, Eric Voss, yeah, exactly. Remember, because we actually talked about it here on
the vaccine.
It was the story arc was apparently very comparable to what was going on now with the disease. Right. However, it's also apparently it's supposed to have both in terms of the accuracy of the focus on what's going on with race relations. So those things were both supposed to be in it, but they didn't want to make it too accurate.
I don't think they want to scare people or whatever, because, like...
Wait, can I just say one thing? Yeah. It was very accurate, because when they were storming that building, I was like, this is when they stormed the Capitol building, but a lot more organized. It was very parallel, so if they would have put the virus in there too, it would have just been like, y'all planned all of this.
Yeah. I think I can't imagine a movie like Contagion coming out today. It would scare the hell out of people because there is an actual virus in the world. So I think they just said, you know what, let's eliminate that altogether.
But they had the whole Capitol. Like when they stormed the Capitol, it was because they wanted to stop a vote. And what happened in Winter Soldier?
Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing, bro. Like it was way more organized.
That's another thing too. I like that they're showing us a lot of post-blip in the Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier in like 6 months. Look, remember, WandaVision was only 3 weeks later, so that's kind of like fresh. But this was 6 months later, so you see what happens when people try to come back in the world. Like the guy made a point too, where Sam kind of got quiet. He was like, well, "What about people who were gone and they come back and now their house is gone or whatever, or now their job is gone? What do we do about them? Whatever."
Stimulus check.
Now, when I think about or a blip check, right now, when I think about the initial release format, which is supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier first, and you're supposed to be presented with this post-blip world, which is, I think, a fantastic strategy after Endgame, as you're alluding to, Miguel. However, the fact that the pandemic forced them to switch things around, and now WandaVision went first, and that's only 3 weeks. Now you can actually expand further and further away from the blip. So like how you're saying, you're bringing it more into its own world, its own universe that you can conceptualize. And then you're able to go back in history with Loki to when it was actually going on. So you're essentially in the films on the TV show, which is, I think, brilliant.
Yeah, because there was actually supposed to be, speaking of that, one of my little sources told me there's supposed to be a post credit scene with Zemo and them forming the Thunderbolts with Yelena Belova, who's the Black Widow's sister, in this show. but they moved it to the end of the Black Widow movie instead and whatnot. So,
exactly. And shout out to the little birdie Charlie.
What is Charlie? I got a lot of stuff I watch now, Josh. It's crazy. I put in hours on this stuff now or whatever. So.
Now that's what I'm talking about. And I have to shout out the comments for those who are listening on the podcast. So that's my bad on that. So E-Money said, he is Cap now, referring to Sam Wilson, which is dope. Nate Dizzle said Blacked in America, which is hilarious. That's definitely going to stick. E-Money also said, I wanted the suit to do more. I understand that. We just went over that. And E-Money just said, but I wanted them to try and rip the wings off and the wings cut whoever grabs them. And again, I feel like that's going to happen. It's kind of like, it's like it's essentially Sam Wilson's Captain American origin series now. That's essentially what it has become. It's his origin series of becoming Captain America. So I think it's going to be very interesting after season 2, as we talked about as Josh Radamus and the Prophets here, and then going into Captain America 4 in 4 to 6 years, however long it takes. I think there's certain things that can happen in order to kind of talk about essentially happen the way that we said, except I don't know if they're going to be able to have a third season the same way it comes out on film. So a similar situation was with Benedict Cumberbatch, who is Doctor Strange, absolutely. And then he was also Sherlock Holmes, and they had the BBC show Sherlock. But then they also had a feature film. But during that, when they were producing the feature film, there was no season. So I'm just thinking about in terms of production, in terms of logistics, if there is going to be a Cap 4, there can't be any season 3, or season 3 would be after Captain 4.
Let's go.